All right, Reggie, the Front Row Report. It is the beginning of December. I'm here with Luke for King and Country. Man, thank you so much for taking time. We were just talking. I'm very excited about this, man. How you doing?
Man, I'm good, man. Thank you for taking time out of this. This is a great opportunity to be able to hang out, man. So thanks for taking the time.
Oh, absolutely, man. It's you guys are going strong again. The new album, man. Run Wild, Live Free, Love Strong, man. Great album. It's been very well received by fans, man. Tell me a little bit about the response you've gotten from this new album and how it's been just since you guys have released it.
Yeah. Well, Run Wild, Live Free, Love Strong has been an amazing journey, really, man, because what's crazy about what most people don't know is Crave, our first album, was really written about 5 years ago. Most of the songs were written that long ago. And because the album got delayed a lot of times and a lot of different things that went on. And this time, it was a very different experience writing it because the first album, you got all the time in the world to write the songs.
Yes.
And then your second album, you've got no time because you're out on the road. You've got family that you need to spend time with. You've got to figure out a way to write an album, and there's just not much there. It's really, really tough. And what was kind of cool about that is it forced us to do things a little bit differently. You know, we wrote about 50% of the album out on the road in the back room of our bus. And you write different songs because literally we would be on tour. We'd walk off stage and walk directly back and start writing songs. And so you'd walk the stage from back there, and then 15 minutes after your show's done, you're back in the little room writing again. And when you see how songs are impacting people's lives and stories, and then you can go and write songs about it like immediately after a show. That's a cool deal right there. And so it's been a very amazing experience to have these people come and say, "Hey, that song that you wrote, man, that's become my life song. Like, thank you for writing that song. As if you were reading my journal." I never want to take those stories for granted, and those stories inspire us.
Does it make it easier to write songs when you're seeing people's lives impacted and writing about stuff like that, whereas, as opposed to just sitting in a room and writing something that you feel? Does it make it easier to write songs when that's going on?
Well, man, here's the truth. Songs are freaking hard to write. I mean, it's not a perfect science. I mean, I always like to say a special song, a great song, because you can do a lot of things to write a good song. You can have it catchy, you can have it about something that people care about, and all those things. But to write a special song, those are gifts from God. I mean, they just are. And so I will never say it's easier. I do think whether you're inspired or more inspired is a big deal. So being able to see these people respond to these songs and then walking into a room and writing a song probably forces you to be more inspired in the moment. And because of that, I do think it helps the writing process for sure, because it's a hard deal, man. Songs are, people, we just got finished with our headlining tour.
Yes.
In the fall, and we did a Q&A every night before the show started. And one person came up and said, "Hey, so when's your next album coming out?" And I joked and I said, "Man, you're giving me a panic attack. We just wrote one album. If we're going to do that again, I don't know what I'm going to do." So it is a very, very hard process. It's very, very difficult. It's not easy. It's very, very satisfying. And honestly, we love to do it, even though it is difficult and even though it is hard.
And you guys have had kind of, I don't know if I'd say luxury, but you guys have been very lucky. The music has been very well received by fans. The first record, Crave, did very well. In fact, earned you the New Artist of the Year at last year's Dove Awards. And then the new record is being received very well. And so you haven't had one of those times where an album doesn't do very well. So it's got to be really, validating and gratifying when an album does as well as both records have done for you.
Yeah, it's a challenging thing, man, because anytime you start something, you always know that there's going to be a high in your career, and there's going to be a low. You also know at some point that it won't be there anymore. There will be a time where it's finished. And so for us, I think these first two albums, it's just been we're very lucky, and it's been a great story of just, hey, we're thankful to be able to do what we do. We're going to continue to write the best songs that we possibly can, and we don't, we want to take the approach of a few that are good and quality are better than many and a lot. And so we spent nearly a year and a quarter writing this past album, and honestly, it's the hardest thing I've ever had to do in my life, and was very, very tiring and very, very draining and very, very difficult, honestly. And a lot of the songs on there are very personal songs and very real songs, and I wouldn't have it any other way. But there is a toll it takes, and honestly, I just hope that God continues to give us things to write songs about that we are passionate about, that we are inspired about, because that's really what it's about. I don't ever want to just write a song because I need to write a song. I want to write songs with a purpose and that need to be written, because that I think is what I'm here to do right now, is write songs that are real, honest, and authentic.
Nice, man. And you guys are starting right as 2015 starts, back on the road. You're going out on Winter Jam, the Winter Jam Tour Spectacular. By far the biggest tour, I think, in the country every year. Sells out pretty much everywhere it goes. This is the second time you guys have done it. You did it in 2012 when you guys had just broken onto the scene in 2012. This time around, you've got 2 records under your belt. You've grown an even bigger following, so it's going to be a little bit different feeling this time around. What are you guys doing to prepare for it, and what's going to be like being on it this time for you?
Well, you're totally right, man. I mean, being a part of that tour 3 years ago was a great thing for us. It was our first tour that we ever did. It taught us a lot. We worked hard through it, and yeah, we didn't. We had basically busted out. Our first single was on the radio at that time, and that was it. And so it's just totally different. I mean, there's nothing like going to. I mean, as I said, we just finished up our tour, and literally seeing the audience know pretty much every one of our songs that we sing, and songs that aren't singles or anything like that. That's a very humbling and exciting and crazy thing. So doing it this time is very exciting. I mean, it's going to be with obviously lots of people in the room. It's a lot of fun. It's going to be with a lot of people as far as just on the tour that are friends of ours that we like, and we're really looking forward to just being a part of a night that is going to have great impact on people's lives, and it's going to have a great impact on our lives as well.
One thing I love about Winter Jam is there's all sorts of different types of music on Winter Jam. It's not one set style. You've got rock, you've got pop, sometimes you got rap, you've got, the contemporary, praise and worship style. Being on Winter Jam as a new artist, which is hard to believe 3 years ago now for 2012 was, but being on a tour like that in front of that many people of, all of these, at that point established artists, how did that help for King and Country starting out?
I think the biggest thing that Winter Jam did that first tour was just the amazing exposure that it gives you. I mean, even though we were playing in a lights-up slot, we were playing to half-filled arenas, so, you're playing to 7,000-8,000 people a night. And even though it wasn't a full-capacity house, it actually taught us a lot, because, man, when you have people walking into an arena and you're playing your songs and you have to figure out a way to be entertaining and to get their attention and then actually share a message that's on your heart is a difficult thing. And I think it actually taught us a lot about, hey, when things are kind of going against what you would hope, how do you rise up and handle that? And it really was a great thing for us. We had a lot of artists on that tour that were just, Peter Furler in particular was on that tour, and he kind of reached around a hand out and put an arm around our shoulders and just said, hey, if there's anything I can do to help, let me know. And those things are powerful. And honestly, it's a note to ourselves for this time around. If there are other bands that are younger that need some help to be there to help them out however they can, and if there's something that they might wonder about, to answer their questions however we can. But it's an amazing thing to have been able to come back and play it after just playing it 3 years ago.
It's going to be awesome. I remember seeing you guys in 2012, and that was my first taste of you guys. I had just moved to Indianapolis at that time, so that was my first time seeing you, because I'm from Iowa, where we don't have a whole lot of exposure to new music out there. But I remember seeing you guys, and I was just like, wow, these guys are... I don't even know what to say. That was awesome. And then I found out you guys had just were brand new, and I was like, wow, you couldn't even tell that you were breaking onto the scene at that point on a national level. It was just so cool to see that. So it's going to be really interesting to see this time around, see the show. I think you got something bigger in store this time around, especially for a show like Winter Jam. A tour of that magnitude is going to be really awesome.
Yeah. We'll do a few things to, got a few tricks up our sleeve, if that makes sense, and just a few things that'll be fun, and yeah, man, it's going to be a fun thing to be a part of it, and I'll hopefully show people that just go to one show a year, if it's just Winter Jam. Mm-hmm. Hopefully they see, hey, look how For King and Country's grown, look how things have changed, look how they've changed as people, and that's a hope for us.
Yeah, because there's a lot of people that... One thing I love is Winter Jam, it's $10 admission at the door. And there's so many people that Winter Jam is the only show they're able to go to every year, because it's the only one they can afford. And, especially in Indianapolis, it may be the only show that comes around that has bands that they want to see on it. So... people could have seen For King and Country for the first time in 2012 and not have seen another show since then, and seeing you guys again this time around. So it's going to be really, really fun to see the reactions from everybody seeing you guys again, because I know everyone here everyone loved the set last time around.
Oh, that's cool, man. Well, we're excited for it for sure.
Awesome. I'm looking forward to it. I cannot wait. We'll see you on March 20th in Indianapolis. And man, thank you so much for taking time to talk to me. I really, really appreciate it.
No worries, man. Thank you for taking it, and thank you for taking a moment out of your busy day and your job and all to spend time with me. So I appreciate it, man.
Oh, definitely, man. We'll see you in a couple months.
All right, dude. Have a good one, man.
You too. See ya.
All right, bye.